Hello, wonderful people on the internet. It's your boy Ochre Dev here once again, and I am back with a big banger tutorial, guys. I've missed you guys. It's been a while. Okay, so over the couple of weeks, I've been working on a project, and I've been trying to clone pastebin.com. I've been trying to clone it with a Django REST framework backend and a Vue front end. So let's see, this how it looks like. That's how it looks like. So just come here, you put in your code that you want to share with others. Then when you are done, you go down here and you create a new paste. Okay. So in the course of building the project or building the clone, I encountered this problem where I had a normal text editor like this, where I can put in my code. Let's say devx. Let's say it's a Python. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4 space. Then print hello world, like this. So I have a normal text editor here that is going to take in the code which the user wanted to share with his or her friend or the world. Okay, so looking at this code here, it looks very raw and it's very cruddy, and it does not even appeal to the user. So I wanted to find a way of building, let's say, a text edit, a code editor inside the browser. So something like this. So let's say we have devx. So define x, and you see that we get some syntax highlighting here. Then when you move to the next line, you see you get the number lining, which is very helpful. So you have like some sort of a simple Sublime editor or a simple VS Code inside the browser, which is very cool, more than this normal text area here. So I think between this two, which is the normal text area, and this simple code editor that is built with Vue.js, this is more perfect. And the cool part is that you can even switch the language. Currently it is in Python mode, so that's why the def has been highlighted. So let's say I choose another word like for, you see the for2 has been highlighted. So if it was a normal string, let's say hello, you see it has its own syntax. The syntax highlighting is different. So let's say I want to change it. The code that I want to share with others is supposed to be JavaScript or JS. Let me click on this button. It is going to change the code. It's going to change the syntax highlighting. Okay, so you see this one has changed because it is JavaScript. When it was Python, the syntax highlighting for the def was showing. Since we have for in JavaScript, that's why we can see the syntax highlighting. So let me say function, which is JavaScript equivalent for def. So you can see that this time around the function is working. It's now getting the syntax highlighting instead of the def, which would have gotten the syntax highlighting if we were using the Python mode. So by default, the syntax highlighting is set to Python, but you can switch it up with some changes. Then it goes to by changing the settings, then it goes to JavaScript. It has a whole lot of languages that it supports. It supports Golang, it supports React, it's a lot. It supports C++, C#, and a whole lot. So in this short tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to implement or how to build a simple text editor using Vue.js, and more specifically Vue 3. Okay, so you are going to build a simple text editor like this, a simple code editor inside Vue 3. Okay guys, so behind the scenes, what is allowing all these things to work or to get the syntax highlighting is this program that is called the Codemirror. So Codemirror is even used by some big companies. Let me go down a little bit. Okay, so you can see CodePen also even uses Codemirror, you have hallmarks, and a whole lot. So with this, with the tutorial I'm about to show, you can even try and clone CodePen. You can try cloning CodePen, which shouldn't be difficult, because I am cloning PastePen. I thought it would be a simple project until I wanted to be very, very close to the original website, so it has taken a little bit of time. It's been a week since I started working on that. So you can see a lot of companies are supporting or sponsoring them, so it's being used by them. I'm sure that's what CodePen uses for its syntax highlighting. So the next thing that we need is that we need to know about the package that we will use. You are going to use this package, the Vue.3 Codemirror. So currently it is still under development, so the docs is quite not up to standard. I have spoken with the one building it, or the one maintaining it currently, Katali. It seems it's an Asian name, so Katali. I've spoken with him, or I've sent an issue out, and he said I can contribute. So I've made some changes to the code base, and I am yet to push the documentation here. So if you want to use my version of the Codemirror, which I have not yet made a PR to Catalyst repo, then you can just come here, clone it, then you clone it, then you clone it into your Codemirror, your node modules, your node modules, okay? Or you can download the code from here directly, then you just dump into your node modules inside your Vue project, okay? So you can either install it using the npm, this is the command, npm I Vue.3 Codemirror. If you want to, I'm sure by the time I'm done with the recording, and I've made a PR to Catalyst project, which will have the requirements for the video, okay? But if by that time it has not been made, you can just clone it from the repo. So I'm going to leave both links to the links to the repos inside the description below, okay? So don't worry about that at all. So these are the packages that will be used for this project, okay? So let's jump into our Visual Studio Code and code this thing up. Okay, so guys, before we jump into the video, I just want to make a quick commercial. So please, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Like I mean right now, just click on the subscribe button over there, okay? It's really essential for me, okay? So please click on the subscribe button. I'm waiting for you, so just click on it right now. Okay, so thank you very much for subscribing to the channel, and I really appreciate you. Okay, so let's jump into Visual Studio Code and let's build this thing up. Okay guys, so now we are inside Visual Studio Code. So the first thing that you want to do, as I said, is that you have to install the package that we are going to use, which is the Vue.3 Codemirror. So you're going to run this command. I already have the package already, so I'm not going to run it. So you just type in npm I Vue.3 code-mirror, then you just hit enter, then it's going to install for you, okay? So just run that command. Then now let's jump into where you want to use where you want to have your code editor at. So currently I've gone ahead and stripped out the first edit, the one I used to do the preview for the video. So I've stripped out the code editor, so there's no editor here currently. So let's go back and now let's build it up again. So the first thing that you are going to do is you are going to import it. So import, then you are going to this structure and take out code mirror, v Codemirror from Vue.3 dash code dash mirror. Like this, okay. So now when you have v Codemirror, now you have to add it to our, what's the name, our component, so that we'll be able to use it. So let's go down here into the component. So let's add it, v code mirror, if I can spell mirror right, and you put your comma over there. All right, so now we have it inside our component, so now we can use it inside our template. So where we want to place our text editor is right below this new paste HR element. So just like this, v code then let's close it. It's a self-closing element. So for this to work, it needs some few properties. So first is the mode, second is the value. So the value is a required element. So let me demo it to you. So let's go to value, and let's, sorry if I can spell value, or value, then let's set it to hello world. Okay, now let's save it, space, and let's save it. Then now let's go back to our browser and see what is there. Okay, so this what comes up. You get to this editor, so you can see our hello world is here. Our hello world is here. So let's go back. So the hello, the value over there gives us some sort of a V model way of binding value from the back end and from the front end. I don't know how to put it, like how V model works. That's how the value prop also works. So let's say we change this one to hello world everyone. It's going to pass that value, the everyone, to the browser. Use a few seconds, you can see that everyone is here. So the value over here gives us some sort of binding to the value inside the code editor directly. Okay, so let's go back to Visual Studio Code. I want this video to be very short. So the other options that we can pass is the mode. The mode is the language that we want to have. So it's supposed to be an object. So you don't worry, I'll explain it to you when. So let's v-bind it, because it's supposed to be an object. That's why we are v-binding it. Then let's pass the mode. So we have to go down and go and define the mode down there. So through the mode is where you are going to pass the language which you want it to be in. Okay, so it's going to be like const mode, and you are going to use ref so that we can make it reactive. All right, then we pass in our object, which is going to have the name and name. So name, so the name is going to be the name of the language that you want to use. So let's say we want to use Python. Okay, then the other property is going to be JSON. With my experience, if the JSON is not there, it's kind of give us an error. I don't know why. So just add the JSON with the value as true, a key JSON, the value as true, and the name is the property. the name is the language that you want to use inside the browser. Okay, so let's save it, then let's go back. So we can now type def, so you can see def is working. Hello, other stuff. So the def is working. So let's go back and let's quickly change the mode to JavaScript and see what is going to happen. Sorry, oh, what's wrong? Supposed to change this thing to JavaScript. JavaScript, like this. If I can't spell JavaScript well, so JavaScript, then I save it. Then let's go back to the browser and see what's going to happen. So let's say function, oh sorry, a minute, it's hadn't have function. Let's do a quick refresh. Okay, so let's try it out again. Let's try function, and it is still not working. Okay, let's go back and let's see what's wrong. Okay, so instead of us returning the mode, we didn't return it. Sorry guys, let's return the mode. Vue is amazing. Okay, so now let's go back into the browser and give it a try. Okay, so now you can type function. You can see now the syntax highlighting is working. Sweet. Okay, so let's move quickly so that I can show you the other options that can be done with the editor. So if you want to pass some options to the editor, you have to pass it through the option prop. So I'm going to create an object, and it's supposed to be an object too. So let's create a const called cm option. I just want to call it something like a command line option, or editor option. You can name it whatever that you want. So it's going to be a ref. Then I usually make it so that it's able to be changed by the user if I want him or her to be able to change it. Okay, so some of the tab size. The tab size determines what should be the type. If the person hits the tab key, should it leave 2 spaces or should it leave 4 spaces? By default, it is set to 4. So it's supposed to be a string. It's supposed to be an integer. So you are going to set it to 2. Sorry, not equals to semicolon. All right, a colon instead. All right. Then the other thing that we can do is, you see the number line over here inside the editor. This number line here, you can take it off. So let's say line number, which is something I don't advise you should do. It doesn't make the user experience nice. So line number, by default it is set to true, so you can set it to false. Then I think that is all. Let's save it. So when you hit Tap space. No, you have to refresh. So guys, I don't know what's wrong with my brain, but today I have making a lot of mistakes. When we are done with this, you are supposed to return it, then use it on the editor. We didn't even use it on the editor, then I went out to go and try it. Sorry. So come down here inside the return statement. Let's return CM option. Okay, like this. Then you go back to the component. On the component, you are going to have let's say the prop options plural. Then we are going to, it has been v-bind, so we are going to pass in our CM option here. So in case you don't want to pass any default value here, then you can make it an empty string so that you don't get any error, but it is compulsory that you have the value here, and at least it should be an empty string, okay, or else the code will break, the component won't work. All right, so let's save it, then let's go back and go and check it out. So guys, this is what we have. We still have our def. Let's say it has been changed to JavaScript. So still have our syntax highlighting going on, but you see we don't have the number line over here. So it still doesn't look nice to me. So it's advisable you keep the default where here is true, okay. Then the tab size, depending on your preference, some people want their tab size to be 2. By default it is 4. I like the 4, so whichever which is cool with you, you can use that one. Okay, so here's number lines, line numbers, not line numbers. Okay, so there are a huge list of options that you can set. You can find it inside the manual here. I think it's here, yeah. So this is it. You can see value, mode, line separator. I'm going to leave the link to this page inside the description below, okay. So the final thing that I want to teach you is how you get the value out of this thing. Let's say the person has typed all this thing, so it's a component. So you want to get what the person typed here and store it to a database or use it for whatever you want to use it for. I'll show you the last two things and how to prevent someone from editing what has been passed already in. Okay, so let me show you that one first, then you'll move into the how to get the value out there. So let's take out this thing out. Let's take this one out, save it, then let's move up. So let's say we pass here hello world. Hello world, and we don't want anyone to change it. Let's say we are using it to preview a code on our website, and we don't want to allow anyone to change it. We can pass a prop called read only. Then we set it to a boolean true, so by default it is false. So for us to use the boolean, we have to v-bind it. Okay, then let's save it, then let's go back to our browser, give it a second, it's going to refresh. So you can see the cursor is there, but if I am hitting the backspace, but it's not working, any key is not working. If you can hear me, you can hear me pressing my keyboard. It's not deleting anything, and any additional key is not added. So this is very useful. Okay, let's say you want to, in my case like this, if I don't want the person who created the I want to allow only the person who created the paste to be able to allow it, I can use such a prop to control that. Okay, so the final thing that I want to teach you is how to what's the name, to get the value out of the code editor. Okay, so for us to get the value, whenever there's a change inside the text area or inside the code editor, it emits an event, and the event name is called update value, update column value, like this. Okay, sorry, value, no, I don't know what I just spelled, value. Then we are going to pass it a handle update function. Okay, so this is it. So this is the event that is being emitted every time a key is entered inside the text area. All right, so let's go down and let me show you the handle update function. It's a very simple function, so let me expand it. So when it emits the when it emits that function, when it emits that event, it comes along with the value inside the text area. So that is what you are catching over here. You are taking in as a parameter, then you are just console logging that value. Okay, so I have added it to my return value here. I don't want to bore you with writing this simple function. Okay, so I just did it beforehand. So this is it. Let's save it and let's go back into our component. So you can either create a ref that is going to store that value. So let's say a ref code, then it will be updating it anytime the event is emitted. Okay, so it's very simple. So let's go back to our value here. Is it still, sorry, let's change the read only to false. Let's change this thing to false quickly. Like this. Then we can go back and now see what's gonna happen. So okay, so now we are going to open up our console. So let me pin it to the top quickly. Always at top. Don't mind this error, it's just some minor bug inside my application. So let me hit, you see the, so I can clean all this, then you can see we are getting our value. All right, so let's say you want to type, this is dev, sorry, dev. So you can see you are getting in the value here. So whilst it emits it, you can be passing it to a ref inside your setup function. Okay, then subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. All right, so subscribe to the channel. All right, so you can see it's emitting it, then it's console logging it, so you can just pass it to a ref value. Okay, so guys, this is basically what I wanted to show you inside this tutorial. We have been able to build a simple some sort of a Sublime text or a Visual Studio editor inside a web browser. Okay, so see you in my next tutorial, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if this video has been helpful, please click the like button, comment in the comment section below. Even if you have a project that you want me to work on with Python, with Go, with Vue.js, with React, just comment it inside the what's the name the comments below. Just comment it down there and I'll work on it for you. Okay, so no problem. So until then, Bye.